From an American fire truck to a Honda Civic Type R. This is everything in my current collection. Now, my taste has changed quite a bit over the past few years, and I honestly think this is one of the best mixes of cars you could possibly have. So I'm gonna go through every single one, each of their stories, their pros, their cons, and their future plans. I currently have another on its way to be delivered to me right now, so I thought this is the perfect time to give a rundown on what's already here before we get stuck in to our next project. So, this car is where it all started. This is my 1991 Honda Prelude with working four-wheel steer. I got it when I was 13 years old when my dad swapped it for a mobility scooter. Obviously, I could not drive it at 13, but this was my first ever project that I did with my dad, so it means an awful lot to me. Essentially, everything you see here is 13-year-old Grace's decision, basically frozen in time. This was when I first got it. It was literally straight from an old lady. I was going through the paperwork a few months ago and I actually found out she had a Nissan Bluebird at the same time, which was sent to scrap. It had books and books of paperwork. I think it's done around 119,000 miles, so it's definitely been used. Anyway, I was over the moon. It literally became my whole personality trait for about 3 years. At the time, I was rewatching and rewatching Fast and Furious, literally back to back all the time. I was obsessed. Car magazines, and I was frequenting Los Santos Customs. So if you know, you know. As a result of that, it ended up being bright orange. It's a lovely silver grey underneath. Lowered it, induction kit, full Alpine sound system, new wheels, a matching upholstered interior, which is completely Marmite. I don't even know if I love it or hate it. It even has neons. So yes, this car is like Fast and Furious threw up on it, but it's still slow. I genuinely thought that it was the coolest thing ever. Now, these are becoming increasingly rare. You just don't see them anymore. However, that is where the problems arise because you cannot get parts for it. Last January, I drove it to Autosport in Birmingham. Now, when I returned, I realised it had a massive coolant leak. This was later identified as a crack in the thermostat housing. I can find the replacement thermostat, but I cannot get the housing itself. I said to myself at the time, I'll get that sorted soon. I had the E36 build going on at the same time, so you can understand why this sat on a back burner once you hear about that later. But months and months and months pass and suddenly we are over a year on and it is still sat here in the same place it was when it came back from Autosport, which is very, very sad. I really want to revamp this car in future because it deserves it. The wrap has been on here for way too long and I know when it comes off it is going to need a full respray. My taste has definitely matured since I was 13, but part of me doesn't want it to change and kind of wants it to stay that way because it's almost like a time capsule. However, I do have a little bit of a vision for this car. I would love to do some sort of crazy engine swap with it. The usual swap for these is the H22A, which is in the later 5th gen Preludes. But I would like to do something a little bit different to that. I personally was thinking of maybe going for a J series, which is the Honda 6-cylinder. I think it might be a tight squeeze in there and it would certainly be a massive project, but it would end up being really cool and the car would end up being a manual. So I definitely think mechanically that's probably a cool way to go with this. Now, the image and the vibe that I've got in my head for this car, if I go and change it, would be a dark pearlescent blue, some chrome wheels, take those tints off, definitely re-upholster the seats. That is the kind of vibe, but I just know this would end up being a huge project. So I'm kind of sat on the fence currently of what to do with it. It means an awful lot to me. I've only come close to selling it once, realised I absolutely cannot, so this car is never going anywhere. This is the car that sparked my love for Hondas, grew my passion for cars, so I present you Honda number 2. Now, this car was a turning point. This is the EP3 from Under the Sea. If you followed me initially on TikTok, you will know the story of this car. It has been through a great deal of work. It literally changed my career trajectory. So this is the story of one very rusty Civic. Back in 2023, I had just finished uni where I studied horses, and I came back to work at my dad's car dealership until I figured out what I really wanted to do in my life. However, I then never left. We used to sell all sorts of performance cars, so think BMW M, Audi RS, Mercedes AMG, plus a load of really cool, unique stuff in between. This was a result of that. We bought this car as stock. Couldn't sell it. There was no way we were going to sell this car as it was. We bought this unseen from BCA auctions from Scotland. Now, they tell you to never buy a Japanese car from Scotland. I didn't learn the lesson with this. Also haven't learnt it now because I've just done the same thing again. But more on that later. When this car arrived on the transporter, it was taken off. The brakes were seized. The paint was shocking. It looked like it hadn't had any sort of love in about 10 years' time. And then we looked underneath it. Me and my dad quickly realised that this was either lose money or lose money. So we chose the latter. And this is what happened. So what were we starting with? This was the car as it was delivered. Dusty, rusty, paintwork was shoddy, but who was I to complain? It was a Civic Type R. Now, the engine was actually only on 79,000 miles, so we were starting from a good place there. The interior wasn't too bad, but the car overall was really, really unloved. We had a brief look underneath it when we were here, but quickly decided we need to get it on a ramp and assess quite how bad the rust was. And at that moment was when we realised that we were in for a very big project. These cars are notorious for rusting, especially if they're from Scotland and especially if they're from the coast, which is exactly where it had come from. Every single metal component under here was rusty. The exhaust, the subframe, and the worst part we discovered was the boot floor. You could actually see daylight through it. So we had no choice but to strip it all down and cut the boot floor out. Now, it took us quite some time to actually find a boot floor for this, but we actually got the last one that Honda had in stock. Looking at the car at this point was actually making me wince. We had 6 months to get this project done before we were supposed to unveil it. However, the boot floor went in and I was starting to feel a little bit more confident that this was going to resemble a car again at some point. The next step was taking it over to Pennings at Milton Keynes. Now, they made quick progress on getting this prepped and ready to paint. In the meantime, I also had the engine shipped off to Overkill Performance, who stripped it down and fully rebuilt it. They also installed our Gen V ITBs, but you'll hear more about that later. I got to pick my dream paint colour for this car. A custom paint, it was Honda Pirates Black with an extra red flake to really make it pop, and honestly, the result was so worth it. We even had a visit from the Ice Blasters, who came and ice blasted the gearbox to get that looking fresh and almost new. It was then a case of getting the car all back together again. Lamborns was super helpful with this, and I've listed here a few of the parts that we used. Now, this is the bit I was very excited for, getting the engine back in the car. It honestly looked brand new. So it is the stock K20A2, but we have added Gen V ITBs on here. Everyone was telling me to turbocharge it, everyone was telling me to supercharge it, but I said I wanted the NA sound that these Hondas are known for. So once the engine was in, it was then time for a few finishing touches here and then back over to Pennings for our final finish. I knew the car was missing something. I don't like other wheels on these cars, so I decided to keep the stock wheels, but have them powder coated in BBS Gold. Now, at this point, the car was aesthetically done, and I couldn't have been more happy with how it had turned out. I personally think this is the best OEM Plus look you could possibly get. But that's just my opinion. And we had completed it just in time to unveil it. However, here comes the fun part, because it was mapping day. We were going to Gordon at Street Racers. He is a Honda magician, and you'll hear more about that later. But I was so excited to hear these ICBs sing on the dyno, so I'm gonna let you hear it too. that, we had made 249 horsepower, which is exactly the rough area that I was expecting for this car, being naturally aspirated. So that is where we were. So here she sits now. The car that helped me figure out what I wanted to do, encouraged me to get stuck in, get learning, but has also given me the most problems. We had finally got this car ready to drive, ready to enjoy, and then we realised that the exhaust was actually melting the rear bumper. So it was sent off to have that sorted. It then didn't get sorted where it was supposed to get sorted. They then caused other issues. That then led to other issues. The place it went to is not named in this video. Everyone else has been absolutely wonderful. So it ended up going back to Kyle at Overkill Performance, who rebuilt the engine. He then sorted the exhaust. He ran loads of tests. Compression tests, all came back fine. However, it has got a faulty throttle position sensor, so it just dies. Undrivable at the moment. But today it's going back up to Gordon at Street Racers. Now, if you know Gordon, he is a Honda magician. He is home to the fastest front wheel drive K-Series in Europe. Many of you will know that I am massively into drag racing. So who else to go to than Gordon? He is going to get this car running lovely for us to enjoy and use this summer. It's been a long time coming, but hopefully it's going to be completely worth it in the end. Mainly just for the sounds of the ITBs on crossover. But this is the car that helped me gain a bit of an audience on TikTok, which then therefore led me to now form a career that I absolutely love. So I really can't complain. I'm so thankful for the journey with this car, even though it has completely stressed me out. However, it is not a daily, so that is where it leads me on to the 1 Series. This is my daily driver. I have had it for almost 3 years now, which is a very long time for me to keep a car, but it is a workhorse. It basically turns into a van for me that travels up and down the country. It's essentially my mobile office, and it got to the point where I was like, I don't love this car anymore, even though it's a very, very good car underneath. I thought it would be a great idea to completely refresh this car in just 24 days before Christmas, kind of as a Christmas present to myself. So as our first step, we got the engine bay ice blasted at the Ice Blasters. Now these guys completely refresh all sorts of cars, including the undersides and any other sort of components. The great thing about ice blasting is that it's non-abrasive and it doesn't use water, so you can safely use it on an engine bay to get a real factory fresh look. This made a great difference to the engine bay, but we were not stopping there. This was a full transformation project, I had decided. So next thing to do was clean up the very, very grubby interior. Someone had put this awful steering wheel cover on before I got the car, and I don't want to take it off, but at the same time, it looked absolutely shocking. That's all makeup, hand cream, all sorts, but cleaning it made a massive difference. So next thing on the list was new wing mirror caps, because my ones had for some reason gone completely scratched. All the lacquer had come off of them and they looked absolutely awful. Now this was just another little touch that was going to make a difference to the overall finish of the car, so I was very, very pleased with this. And then it was next on to an MST induction kit. I was so happy with the result of this, and honestly, after driving it for a few months now, I can tell you it sounds so good, and I think it's made a difference. I would love to get this car on a dyno at some point and find out what power it actually is, because there were modifications that were done to this car before I actually got it. Now, next up was something a little bit more custom. I love the Valencia orange colour on this car, so I got Sean at Built JDM, who painted my E36, to do me a colour matched engine cover. Now, I am absolutely in love with this. I think it looks awesome. And then when I saw it on the car, I couldn't have been more in love. I also took the kidney grills out because I wanted to cover over these bars. They looked horrible. So with that sorted, I then opened up my box of rotiform wheels from Wheel Pros Europe. Now, I was very nervous changing from black wheels to silver. I wasn't really sure how they'd look with the paint, but the end result was so worth it. I've got some Michelin PS4S tyres on here, fitted by Midbeds tyres. They are wonderful. I also got a carbon fibre inlet duct. I had a massive argument with the previous spoiler that was put on here by the last owner. If you want to see me shout at a car, you need to go and check out that video. They had used so much bonding on here, I just could not get it off. So we dented the roof in the process, but got that sorted. Then had to get all the bonding off of the roof, including the fiberglass it left behind. Then took the car up to Kieran Ashridge Cars. He did a full stage 3 polish and ceramic coat on it, and it looked mega when it was done. But it was then time to add our new spoiler on. I do not think there is a better looking, fitting spoiler for these cars. And I was able to put it on with tape, not bonding, and it's still fine. And then I did what every other single person that owns a BMW does. I put some anniversary badges on it because I love them. I think they look cool and they're a nice little touch. So got that on. Then final piece of the puzzle was getting our wheels on, and these look absolutely incredible. I almost feel like they've changed it into looking like a baby 1M. Like the baby version of it. But silver wheels, Valencia orange, I don't think you can go wrong with that really. So I was very glad to grow out of my black wheel era and completely transform the car into this. There's such a good value for money car. You're looking at about 10 to 12 grand for a nice one now. 6-cylinder, rear wheel drive, 330 breakers standard. I don't think you can go wrong. And those M55s, yes, people may complain about them, but mine's been great. Like anything, look after it, it'll look after you. If you know me, you'll also know that I'm a very hectic person, so I have to remember to look after myself too. Which leads me on to this. Now, I want to talk about something a little bit different for a minute. Grace Autos, filming, editing, travelling, trying to have a social life, trying to go to the gym, trying to eat well. It can sometimes feel like I'm trying to do everything at once and trying to do it all perfectly. And I think I've realised recently that this all or nothing mindset can actually be really exhausting. Like, if I can't do something properly, I just won't start it. Or if life feels messy, I feel like I'm failing. But honestly, life isn't really like that. I found that most progress is in small, slightly messy steps in the right direction. And sometimes just talking things through with someone who isn't in your day-to-day life can help you see things a lot more clearly. Recently, I had to take a little break off of making videos. And with that came a lot of pressure in all areas of my life. It felt like I was suddenly drowning and I didn't know what to do about it. But talking to someone helped me get through that rough patch and realise that I was not alone in this. So today's paid partner is BetterHelp. BetterHelp makes starting therapy really straightforward. You can take a short quiz and get matched with a therapist. And you can talk to them in whatever way you feel most comfortable, whether that is via phone, video, or messaging. Plus, if the therapist isn't the right fit for you, you can change at any time. Therapy isn't just for when something is seriously wrong. It can be a space to figure things out, talk through decisions, stress, relationships, work, anything really. So if you want to try it, you can go to betterhelp.com/graceautos or click the link in the description to get 10% off your first month. It's really helped me and I hope it can help some others too. Now, let's talk about this big guy. This is Clifford. Clifford is 17.5 foot long, came from South Carolina, and he's only done 24,000 miles. He really is a gem. So, the story behind Clifford. How on earth do you end up with an American fire truck in rural England? Let me tell you how. Last year, my dad got his dream fast Ford, a Mark I RS2000. Modern green, matching numbers, fully restored. It was absolutely beautiful. I also had quite a fun time driving it. However, that went to auction in June last year. It sold, but on the same day, I spotted Clifford. At the time, I was desperate to get my hands on a Chevrolet C10, but I just hadn't found one that I'd loved. I knew I wanted a truck, I knew I wanted it to be American, I knew I wanted it to have a V8. I'd never even considered a Ford, but Clifford sat there and I felt instantly in love. I am taking you back to Wheeler Dealer Live last year where my dad sold his Mark I Escort. This is how you end up with an American fire truck. I'm going to start off here. Just before it happened, we'd registered to bid, we went outside to have a quick look what was going through, and then... Now you see this? This is very dangerous because my dad saw something and we said, let's go look at it. Let's go outside, let's have a look. And 5 minutes later, just walked. Say hello to my 1996 Ford F250 XL long bed. This thing is absolutely huge. It's about 17.5 foot long. It's got that all-important American V8, and the best thing is it's only done 25,000 miles. And those decals you see on the side, no, they are not just for show. This actually was a real fire truck in South Carolina. It even has 2 fuel tanks, a front and a rear. But the best bit is how clean it is. This thing has only done 25,000 miles and it's absolutely immaculate underneath. The interior itself is absolutely stunning. It's almost like it's just rolled out the showroom. It's a beautiful red vinyl with matching headliner. You can really tell that this truck has been loved and looked after throughout its life. First thing I did was grab an unsuspecting Ben and Adam and got them to guess what I'd bought.
It's inside.
It's not inside. It's outside.
I bid on a car. I didn't get it.
Now turn left.
Oh, it's that way.
Yep.
Have you bought this Lotus?
No.
Oh no.
Keep going. Go up the middle.
I can't see anything that screams Grace Auto.
There's not. Keep going.
It's going to be something massive, isn't it?
Keep going.
No, it won't be that.
No.
No, you've got a bit of sense.
Now look left.
Is it the Transit?
No.
Oh. This
Is it me?
Yeah.
This was sticking out and I was thinking that's going to be something massive. I was looking at this.
Oh my god,
it's mint. Well done, congratulations.
Look at the inside. It's got a bench seat and everything.
What are you going to do with it, Grace?
Parking sensors.
That's it.
No, I'm going to put some on it.
Oh, I was going to say.
I don't think anyone expected me to come home with this, but I did. Now, here's part of the family. Clifford is a 1996 Ford F250 XL. He was used as a fire truck at the Richland County Fire Department. I think he must have been a station officer's truck or something like that because he only has 24,000 miles on him. So he's not had a hard life and he's absolutely pristine. He's been very, very well looked after and he will continue to be. As you can see on the window stickers, I have taken him on Street Weekend, which is Santapod's UK version of Drag Week. It's like Sick Week in America, but it's an opportunity for UK drag racers to take their car and replicate our own drag and drive. Clifford has been the perfect adventure car. Now, Clifford quickly became an integral part of the family, not just for me, but for all of us. Whether you're watching at home or my family themselves, everyone loves Clifford. He's got such personality. 2 fuel tanks, a 351 Windsor V8, which is a 5.7 litre. He goes through fuel like there is no tomorrow. But he's a workhorse. I don't know for what reason someone shipped him over here, but I'm so glad they did because he is my dream pickup truck. He's already been on so many adventures with me, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty more. In terms of plans for Clifford, I'd love to get all of this changed to chrome. Chrome wing mirrors, chrome rear bumper, change the wheels, maybe lift him a little bit, even though he's already quite high up. I don't want to tweak him too much because he's got so much character and I kind of want to preserve him in time in his American glory. So that is Clifford. He's wonderful. I know I shouldn't have favourites, but I think I might do with Clifford. Now this car is my baby, my E36 328i, and no, this is not a factory colour. When I started making car content, I had no idea that it would turn into a career. So when I started getting brand deals come through and sponsorships, I was super excited, but I was just putting that money aside because I was still working full-time alongside it. However, in July 2024, and I'm going to be completely transparent here, I realised I actually had enough stacked away from making car videos that I could actually buy one of my dream cars, which I present to you here. However, it didn't start out looking like this. I am a true believer that the right car will find you. All of my cars have managed to find me. I've not gone out looking for them. So, prime example, the Prelude was swapped for a mobility scooter. The Civic was accidentally purchased from auction and turned into a bit of a passion project. The 135, I was not looking for a BMW. I wanted a Golf R. That came to me. I started looking for an E36, preferably a 325i or a 328i. Had to be a coupe. I was not going to settle for anything else. Started looking for that in July 2024. And there was things that cropped up and everything I saw, I was just a bit like, that's been messed with too much, mileage is super high, looks really tatty. There was just a reason that nothing really sat right with me. I didn't even go to look at any of them. I just kept scrolling Marketplace, I'd been on Auto Trader, I'd been looking at classic car sales, but there was just nothing that took my fancy. However, it then got round to September that year and I thought, right, we're quieting down now. People aren't selling cars. So I thought, I'm going to put this on pause until next year. And as I made that decision, I kid you not, that evening I had a message on Facebook to say, I've got an E36, it's up for sale, 91,000 miles, 328i, factory manual, 2 owners from new. Do you want to come and have a look? It was down the road from me. I didn't even have to travel for this car. So this lovely guy, Jamie, sold me his E36. We tossed a coin on the price of it and the rest was history after that. So when I got this car, it was completely untouched. Started out life as a BMW demo car. It then went to a lady who had it for pretty much its whole life. As a fun fact, when she left the dealership, she folded the middle rear seatbelt into the recess of the seat and it has never ever been unfolded. So if anyone goes near that seatbelt. And then Jamie bought it, he stored it in a barn for a couple of years, and then it's ended up with me. I had a plan for this car. It is still a work in progress. I'm nowhere near done with what I want to do with this car, but I'm very happy with it as it is now. So this is the story of the E36. This was our starting point, a non-M Sport model, Orient blue over a grey interior. It had been really well looked after and it was a great base for this project. I was really happy with the car as it was, but something needed to change. I never leave anything alone, so this was not going to stay standard for long. The first thing I did was went out and found a genuine M Sport body kit. I didn't want to overdo it with a massive wing or parts that weren't true to the BMW brand, but at the same time I wanted to add my own twist to it, so you'll see what I did with that later. I got all this loaded up and then the car went off to Built JDM. Sean's an awesome guy and he did all the bodywork for me, sorted out any rust and welding that it needed, and I trusted him to paint the car in my dream colour for this car. In the meantime, I kept myself busy. I found some BBS RC041 wheels and got them wrapped in some Michelin PS5 tyres from Midbeds Tyres. Got the wheels looking super duper shiny, and then I added another custom touch, which was my floating centre caps. To me, these are such a flex, but the car was now going to paint. This was the scary bit for me because I didn't know how this colour was going to look. I haven't seen one in this colour before, but this was the moment I saw my dream colour for the first time. My car has finally arrived. It's literally on that trailer there. I've seen the colour, but I've not seen the car put together. So this is going to be the first time I see the car in 2 months of it being apart. I'm so excited, but I'm so nervous because I've never seen this colour on a BMW before.
Good thing is, no one's watching.
No one's watching.
See your car.
I'm so nervous.
She said nothing but this car for the last 6 hours.
I've been literally standing here for 6 hours waiting for it.
How excited are you?
Like 1,000.
1,000?
1,000 excited.
Wait then.
I can't not look. It's going to be behind me.
Why have you?
Why this colour is... It doesn't... I'm not turning around. It doesn't belong on a BMW. It's a metallic colour from the 90s, so it's going to highlight the lines of the car. And there's a lot of lines on the E36. I've not seen it on a BMW before, and it's a personal favourite of mine. So that's why I picked it. Hopefully it's the right choice.
Is it, would you say, I mean, you've looked around, I'm sure. Is there any other one you've seen in this colour?
I've seen an E30. In this colour, I've seen an E30. I've seen an E36 that's been wrapped this colour, but it's not the same. The wrap is not accurate to the colour of the car, and it's in America.
Okay.
So
this is a first, certainly for the UK.
I think so.
Nothing
If someone's
happened
got one,
yet, so
yeah.
don't worry.
If someone's got one, maybe. But I've done my research and I can't find one.
Before you see it, did you look at any other colours as an option?
I looked at Ruby Stone.
Okay, so whoever measured that, maybe they were close?
Close, but it just looked pink, and I don't want a pink car. So, oh my God.
You're pumped, aren't you?
I'm all shaky.
If you'd like to turn away, You'll open the side doors.
Okay.
Because the lights are already on.
The lights are on inside already.
Oh my
The lights
God.
are across there.
Okay.
Right, we're opening the trailer now, so don't look.
Does it look good?
Right, oh mate. 3, 2, 1.
Shut up! Oh my God!
Oh, wow.
Oh my God, it looks incredible. It looks better than I thought it would.
And the wheels as well. Oh, damn.
They're my little flex. Oh my God. The interior with it as well. It looks like a baby GTR. Oh my God. It looks completely different. I didn't expect it to look like that, but it's like a good didn't expect it to look like that.
Grace, thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. Love
I mean,
it.
this is the quietest I've ever seen Grace.
I just...
It complements the greens.
It's that line,
No, what colour?
that line going down there.
You're gonna look fucking badass, aren't you?
I've got a Millennium E36. So as she sits, this is probably my favourite of the show cars to just get out and enjoy as of a weekend. I get in this and I can trust it to take me anywhere. I absolutely love driving this car. It's a dream. It handles like a modern car, but it's still fun. You feel connected. It's a beautiful, bright interior, a lovely place to be. Super, super smooth. I literally cannot fault it. It's gorgeous. Everything exterior wise, I'm super, super happy with. Just need to pop my coilovers on, drop that front down a little bit because it's looking like a little bit like a monster truck at the moment. But overall, I'm super, super happy with how it looks. For now, I'm just going to get out, enjoy the car, enjoy having a beautiful E36, Millennium Jade. I know it's controversial, but I love it. I had a vision, I went with it, and I thought it would work, and I think it did. So I'm super, super pleased with this car. And the reason why this car is just so sentimental to me, this came just from early mornings, late nights, making car videos around a full-time job, which was sometimes 5 or 6 days a week, really, really grafting at something, and this is what came from it. So I really do have such a soft spot in my heart for this car because it is the result of my hard work. So in terms of future plans, currently we have 6 cars to deal with. As I say, the Prelude at some point, I think we will attack that. I'm not sure how, but I think we will. It deserves it. The Civic, we should have an update on this soon. Hopefully I will be able to get out, drive it, enjoy it. I don't really think it needs anything else doing to it, but if you have any suggestions, please do let me know. Currently, the E36, I've got some coilovers to go on that. I want to do a few performance mods, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do yet. So again, if you have any suggestions, please do let me know. Clifford, we're going to sort the oil leak and probably get all of this in chrome, give him a really good detail and just get him out and enjoy him this summer, fill him up with petrol. The 1 Series, I'm not exactly sure what to do with it because although it is a wonderful car, I've had it coming up to 3 years now, which is a very long time for me to keep a daily driver. And I kind of feel like I need something bigger. I still want it to be rear wheel drive. I would kind of like a V8, maybe something American or German, but I just don't know what to replace it with between sort of 15 to 20 grand budget wise. What is going to be better than the value for money of what that car is? I'm not too sure. And then we have our new project incoming. It's 4x4. It has a K-series. It has a picnic table. And I'm going to leave that with you. Big plans for this next one. But we're currently waiting for the transporter to turn up to drop it off here. So fingers crossed, it's not in as bad state as the Civic was. We'll see how that goes. But that is the current car collection, the pros, the cons. I love them all dearly and they mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait to reveal the new addition to you. Any likes, shares, commenting, subscribing, it's all very much appreciated and I will see you for the next one.